Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a live in the studio Master Relationship Mechanic Show. Today, we have three awesome, wonderful women bringing us their special niches about the real estate world. So, we'll be talking about commercial real estate. We'll talk about investment real estate. We'll talk about legacy real estate, building your real estate portfolio. But the thing about it is, we're going to be talking about how to use this to support different causes, how to give voice. So I'm not going to spend too much time because I got three guests and I really want each one of these wonderful women to be able to chime in about the wonderful things that they have going on and how they can help and support you on your real estate journey. It's more than just owning a house. That's a good place, but it's more than just owning a house. So coming in with us first is Akima Bigbee,
Hi everyone. How are y'all?
Brooke Dunbar, and
Hello.
Charmitra Strozier.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, and for the sake of everybody that has something going on, I know Charmitra is today. Y'all can see how lovely and beautiful she is done up for us today. She has another event that she has to get to. So I want to make sure we jump into Charmitra first. And I believe she is the visionary behind the event that is coming up. So let's get started with Charmitra and have her tell us what is her real estate niche, how she can coach you and move you to have your best relationships with your real estate portfolio, and what is going on this weekend in Atlanta.
Hi, everyone. So this weekend, I guess you want me to start with the weekend
You
or
can
just
you can
start with
do it
that?
however you want to.
Okay. Okay. So most importantly, this weekend, we want you guys to come out and join us at the Buckhead Shops at Alice and Olivia from 4:30 to 6:30. Tomorrow, we are going to be hosting a contribution to the Sickle Cell Foundation that's really dear to me. My oldest daughter has sickle cell anemia disease, and we wanted to. I always wanted to give back, so I always said whenever I'm able to, be on a platform to where I can reach out to other people that I always want to give back. So this is the time that I want you guys to come out and spend shop, as Brooke Dunbar say, retail. Was it real estate and retail? So we're gonna real estate and retail this weekend. Release some I guess it's gonna be retail therapy, as we should say. But come out and visit us, see us, talk to us about real estate if you want to. We'll be there. My lender, Kim Arrington, will be there on the spot if you need to get pre-approved or if you want to ask questions about refinancing. But most importantly, we're there to shop for the sickle cell. Some of the proceeds, 10% of the proceeds, will go to the Sickle Cell Foundation. And just going forward, we are going to do something else. Hopefully, Akima and Brooke will be in attendance and help me out on this one right here for Christmas to donate to the kids also for Christmas also. So this is just the beginning of something that my girls have joined in with me, and I'm so blessed, so appreciative. You don't know how happy I am and how blessed I am to have you guys join in
Oh.
with me. I want to get teary eyed, but yeah.
Okay, Charmitra, we love the cause and the platform that you created to give back. And I love the concept of retail therapy. I think that's wonderful because we all shop anyway, so we might as well have our money and our
Yep.
dollars go to support something that is important. But you skipped all of past you. You skipped all past you. Don't let our listeners not hear about you, because you are a wonderful, marvelous real estate agent in your own respective. Tell us about your niche. Tell us what you can coach us through. Tell us what you can help us build. Come on now, girl.
Okay, so I am a real estate agent, and my main focus is really buyers. I do sellers. I am doing more and more sellers now. So that's like the biggest thing, that it is a seller's market. So buyers, you guys need to be prepared. Have your funds together. Make sure your credit is together. Make sure that you have a great agent, as myself or Akima or Brooke. that are there. I mean, there's tons of other great agents out here to help you and make sure that they know contracts. Contracts is number one. Make sure that they know your contracts and make sure that you are, pre-approved prior to going out. Just don't go out and look. But for me, I am very dependable. Number one, very knowledgeable. I really like to teach my clients and educate them whenever from beginning to end with the housing market. And that's what I see a lack of in the real estate community is that they're just not educated. So I do my best, to educate them from beginning to end, and just doing my due diligence with my clients. They always become my family.
Absolutely.
I love that. Biz family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
want you all to make sure if you're listening in, it is about the education. A lot of times we want to get something, but we don't want to get the background. And as I told you, this month of August is about awareness. A lot of us reject knowledge. A lot of us reject information. So, and we know according to the word, if you reject knowledge and reject information, you will surely perish. So this is an opportunity for you to connect if you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to investment property. So this is the time to really get educated on the things that you can do to expand your portfolio besides just investing back in a great cause.
Yeah,
Amen.
and it's
So,
very important too for sellers too. I've noticed in the seller industry right now that a lot of them haven't purchased in years, and the market has tremendously changed. So it's very, very important that you do have an agent that is there to educate you through the process because a lot of stuff has changed and things that once was 10 or 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, it's just totally different now.
I like that. Time changes things.
Yeah.
Some people, we assume that things were the same way when we did something the first time and we try to keep it that way. But 20, 30 years ago, even if your house is paid off or whatever it is, process has changed and we do need to understand. We need to get the education necessary.
Yeah.
So Akima, Bigbee,
Hey.
and Charm, Charmitra, I realize if you're getting ready to start driving, I know you're going to take your face off and stay with us in voice. So let the audience know she is still staying with us. We're just not going to be doing no illegal driving.
No, we're not. Charmitra's not gonna get a ticket.
Yeah, so we're not gonna do that on my watch,
Yeah.
because we're
You
not
did
gonna have
good,
to call
friend.
in
You
a
did good,
favor.
friend.
You did. You did good, me.
Yeah, so
Good.
I
I'm kind of
thank you.
nervous, so sorry if I didn't give all the information as I should.
No, Sean, you did wonderful. That's why I say
Yes.
I think people realize that this is live. So a lot of people don't do live. It's a different concept than being in front of just a one-on-one person versus us being here on the camera chatting. And I've had the opportunity to meet your warm and loving personality. So that is I know you are an educator by heart in your field and you just love people and you want them to know the ins and outs of what they're getting into. So I felt it. I know my audience sees and hears exactly what you're delivering to them. So this is a great space because the thing is, when you tell about your cause and the platform that you're supporting, people understand that it's your first love and you're using the real estate market just to funnel people there. So I heard you, everybody else heard you. It was wonderful. Don't feel about being nervous.
You did
I
great.
think that gives the reality to it. So girl, just roll with it. So we'll still be listening for you if we need you and call out your name for you to jump back in, but I don't want you to be driving illegal. So Miss Akima, Bigbee. I am very interested in what is your niche and what's your passion for this platform for this weekend that's coming up and why did you collaborate and join? So just tell me a little bit about you and this platform and how you'll be working with it.
Awesome. So I've been in real estate since 2006. So I watched the market go from a buyer's market. Now we're into a crazy seller's market, which is a great time too. My niche. I love working with buyers and sellers. I really say that for the most, it has been buyers because Georgia has been in a buyer's market. So now you having to transform your business. Now we're into more sellers. So definitely I have enjoyed working with the sellers. I think it's a fun time. I like to see people build wealth. So right now sellers are definitely building wealth. Even my buyers are still building wealth, right? Because you're buying a home and you're going to build equity. But I love to see people walk away with six figures and, able to start businesses and do things that they may not be able to do with, their regular 9 to 5, but they're able now to have $100,000 sitting in their business, in their account, and able to do whatever their heart desires. So I think it's a really beautiful time. I see people are booming with entrepreneurship just off of selling their house. So I think it's just a great time. And, I'm just, what is the word I'm trying to say? Ready to see where this market will go. And as in the foundation. So I think it's a touching thing because when I used to work a 9 to 5, I used to be a financial analyst. I had a real good friend that I worked with whose daughter had sickle cell, and she used to be in the hospital all the time. So when me and Charmitra met, I could only imagine the things that she went through. So, I think it's a really great foundation to donate to. And I'm really excited to do this retail shopping sip or whatever we're calling it, just to see how much we can donate to the foundation. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. And I love what you said about turning your home into multiple businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shift that we're experiencing here in Georgia. People going from big homes to little homes to tiny homes to townhouses. We're having a shift of a generation.
Absolutely.
Who are looking to downsize so they get a lot of money in to build wealth in other areas of their lives. So that's important to understand what shift and where you are in your life, in that buyers and sellers world, because you could be both. You could be selling something to go buy something smaller and then to use those funds to do something else. But your house, when you're talking about a home equity line and all those different things in there, you got money to borrow from yourself over and over to be your own bank. So you're talking about that whole financial experience you're talking about. And I love that you brought that up because I think a lot of people miss out on that. We think of our home as just our shelter, but we don't realize it's actually a provision too that God allows us to have.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. And I just like what I tell people, because I notice a lot of first-time home buyers say, well, this is, my forever home. No, it's your home to build wealth. So it might be your forever home for 2 years, 3 years. But, if you can make money off of it and do something else with it, go do that with it, So don't look at it as a forever home. Look at it as building wealth for your generations to go down, So I just look at real estate as building wealth. Look at it as a tool for you to make money that you might not make on anything else. But it's going to make you money. And this, real estate is definitely for sure going to make you money.
Amen.
Yeah.
So I like that. And if y'all don't know, when I'm talking about things, it's all scripture, because I can see God when He telling people.
Absolutely.
We got so caught up in this tangible stuff, and it's really just meant to be a provision that He's given us, because we're sitting here always telling God, expand our territory, give me more. He said, well, I've already given you a house, I've already given you land, so just take that and expand it.
Expand it.
So He's given us the tools that we needed. Now, that's why we have to sit and talk with women like you all and get this education that Charmitra wants to give us, letting you understand that wealth building portion of it. So how we can use that as our provision and use those tools and use the things we already have in our hand, so we don't feel like we are in lack. And so, like you say, in this season, a lot of people have realized what was in their hands, they needed to start using it in a different way. So and then for people who are listening, sickle cell might not affect you individually, personally, but there are people around you who are really suffering on a day-to-day basis, especially women who have sickle cell. Just their time of the month becomes a struggle for them. So just realize we have become so lackadaisical about what people are going through. And I know it's some people who just don't care about what other people are going through. We always want to tell people, suck it up, get over it. but we've become so compartmentalized like that we've become a negative world, that we made people, just not be in tune with their emotions and get the help they needed. So I think this awareness gives people that opportunity to say, okay, we need to support the women who are going through it. And I know men have sickle cell, but we're talking about for the women who right here, we're talking about the women who going to show up and shop. Now, I'm not saying men don't go out there and buy something for your women.
Yeah, we want you all to come out and shop too.
Yeah. And support this all.
Lady.
Yeah.
So at the end, I'm going to put up the donation link if you're not able to go shop, so your money can still be of value, because you might not be in Atlanta this weekend, or you might have already had a prior event. So you might have all the item of clothes that you need right now. So the thing is, I want your money to go to the platform and go to the cause and support this effort. So we're going to put that up at the end. And so Brooke, I have met you, I think it was just earlier this year in April, and you've become a part of my business family somewhere else. But I feel like I've known you ever since I've met you, because it's like I said, it's just been this year. I don't even think it's been 6 months yet.
No, an instant connection.
But I feel like you, my other sister that I met here in Atlanta. So it's just like one of those people, you can always, that's why I say have this real conversation with what's going on, what do we need to do. So, and I know you have a specialty niche in your legacy building that's not just the selling and the buying component. So definitely tell us about that and why you collaborated.
Well, guys, as Courtney, you know my story. I started out doing investment properties first. Just real quick, my husband and I, we both were in corporate 9-to-5 jobs. My husband ended up getting laid off, from his job, and he was in mortgages. He did the on the finance side mortgages. 2 weeks later, I got the call, I got laid off. We're in 2 totally different industries. And so instead of us scrambling, trying to find something, trying to get something, I said, like you said, Courtney, everything is scripture. Stephen, we've been praying for an opportunity. We keep saying we live from paycheck to paycheck. We're saying, if God blesses us with the opportunity, this is what we're going to do. The opportunity was in the layoffs. So I'm like, we looked at that as a thank you, God, to release us. Okay, we got a severance. I sold every penny of my severance into real estate. Going into investment, purchasing properties, getting my friends who were also laid off. It wasn't just me that was laid off. My whole department was laid off. So I reached out. I knew we all had severances. Hey, guys, we all had 401ks. My co-workers who were laid off with me were my first investors. They said, well, honey, I'm going to pull from this 401k. I'm going to use my severance. And they fixed and they flipped their first house. And that's how it all began. And so instead of me just saying, okay, let me just stick with fix and flips, I said, let me take it a step further. Let me go back to real estate school. And this is near and dear to my heart because this is where me and Charmitra met. We were in the same real estate class together.
Wow.
So in tune and focused on passing this class. We really never connected in the class. We connected after the class. I'm talking about, she called me. She said, this is Charmitra. Do you remember me? Girl, and it was like an almost immediate sisterhood, just similar to Courtney and I as well. Then she invited me to Miss Akima, honey. That has just been the trio. That has been the trio. And because we were all working for different brokerage firms, it was never a competition with us. It was always a collaboration. We always encouraged one another. We even started doing that webinar to, okay, what can we do to enhance this? And what are you doing? And what are you doing? And it became like a sisterhood, a workers' sisterhood, because we were all in real estate. So my passion, Courtney, and the ladies know too, is building generational wealth. So we started Regal Legacy Group, and that's just to get regular folks just like us to invest in real estate. Kima, you hit the nail on the head. I'll give you a quick example. My very good friend, he owned his own business, owned his own home, built equity in his home, said, I want to open up my own barbershop / hair salon. He pulled $100,000 of equity from his house, started his business, it is soaring. He said now he has to open up another location because his business is booming. So it's just like those are the things that when we become homeowners, it's no limit. It's just literally you can do. It's the possibilities are endless. What you can do in real estate. And our vision and our mission is build a legacy, leave an inheritance. We don't just want to acquire, this legacy for ourselves. I have two children. I have two sons, 10 years old and 6 year old. And that's what we talk about. We don't, he's like, well, mommy, when we get older, we're never going to sell our house. We'll rent it out. And it's great if you want to sell, but sometimes it makes sense to hold what you have, to buy and hold, to leverage that. When you're buying these big houses, I'm closing on a transaction. The house is humongous. The basement is full. She said, look, it's just going to be me and my son. I'm going to rent out my basement. It's a 2-bedroom, full bathroom. That's passive monthly income she's getting. She owns her house. Her mortgage may even be paid for just on her bottom level floor of this beautiful home. So it's just, real estate allows you to open your mind. But more importantly, it's this what we're doing now, this network. Without real estate, I would have never met Courtney. Without real estate, I would have never met Charmitra. Without real estate, I would have never met Akima. And let me just give you another story. How this whole Alice and Olivia started. It started with these 3 ladies. We went out to lunch. We were going to a real estate event. And this real estate event, we're looking for dresses for this real estate event. They were so impressed just with our conversation and our passion. They're like, oh, what do you ladies do? We came in there looking fabulous as always. Oh, what do you ladies do? Oh, we're looking for a dress for this real estate event. She's just like, can you please do something here? Do you guys have a foundation? And that's when Charmitra, because we talked about it before, she was like, yeah, sickle cell. I want to do it for sickle cell. That's how the door even opened for this event. Us 3 are together, walking in, just doing our normal thing, and them seeing the light within us and our passion. Like, we have to have you guys here at this event. So this is starting something I see. Literally, this vision is going to be massive. This one retail shop that opened the doors for us is just going to keep. I'm telling you, it's a catapult. I can just see the amazing vision. So as you can see, we are all passionate about everything we do. Nothing is by happenstance. Everything is divine order. And once you understand that, you see things different. You don't see things as a competition. You see things as a collaboration. So I'm just honored to be on your show, Courtney, because I always give you your flowers, honey, saying how amazing and awesome you are in everything that you do, and as well as my Akima and my Charmitra. I love you ladies so much.
Love you too.
That's so wonderful, Brooke, though. And I thank you for always giving me my flowers, because I want them while I'm alive. I don't need people to stand up and get a 3 seconds at my casket, and I never heard you say anything good about me. That's wasteful. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna even have a service, because I'm not gonna even let people waste their time doing that. If you hadn't told me while I was alive, I don't want to hear about it when I'm gone. Mm-hmm. So that's just the truth of where I am in this world of peace that I live in now. But for like that collaboration is really serious in the world that we're in now. We need to learn how to collaborate even within the industries that we are in. Just because somebody is doing what you're doing does not mean they can't offer something. How they say God will make a table. It is so many dishes at that table.
So many.
Talk about it. So there is a real estate table that God laid out for you all, but each of you all bring a different dish to the table with different flavors. So it means that everybody can come take a seat, eat something, learn something from each of you all. And that's the importance of that collaboration piece, because God will even give you a bigger table because you got more stuff to bring to the table. The table gets bigger when you're willing to connect and collaborate with people. So if nothing else, that's a lesson out there. And definitely in this season, when they say women can't collaborate, women can't work together, we've done that, and we speak it so much that we actually believe it. So the thing is, I don't believe that. I know sisterhood is still alive. I know that we are connecting. We out here building things, and we are not doing it, as people want to say, solo in it. Of course, we are using God as our guide, and all of these connections here are a divine connection, because this didn't happen, like you said, by happenstance. Me finding out the event, because it was very orchestrated through an invitation for an event. So every event, somebody else gets added to the table. So that's the great place when you have things open up the invitations for new people to add new people to your table. We are in such a place now that we want to have such a tight-knit community. I understand your circle, your inner circle, your heart people that you let all the way deep down don't need to be but so big. But the circle that God has you to create community, collaboration, that foundation needs to get a little bit bigger so that he can really increase and enlarge your territory that you ask him for. So a lot of times we have not what we ask for because we're too afraid to step out. And if you all heard the beginning of Brooke's story, because I know some people, I just seen the eyes come on and jump in, you have to make a decision that you are not afraid to the answer that God gives you for your prayer. Sometimes it don't look like what your opportunity don't look like what you want it to. Being laid off sometimes don't look like an opportunity. COVID didn't look like an opportunity for people. Everything does not look like an opportunity, but sometimes we have to say, what do we have in our hand? And it always reminds me about the widow woman at Zephyr. If she had not realized that she had oil in her hand to make bread, that bread carried her for the next 3 years when she thought she only had one meal.
Wow.
So if we are obedient with the little that we have in our hand, like you said, the 401k, the servants pay, if we are obedient, with the little bit in our hand, it will create an overflow that will carry us until our next provision that God gives us. So we can't be so consumed about our plan, our wants, our fears, our desires, that we lose focus on what it is that God is telling us to do. So like each of you all, Charmitra is telling us to get educated. So get educated. Get educated on the things that God has told you to do. Get educated on real estate. That is one of the biggest portfolios when you're talking about investing. And Akima, you said something to me, don't think about a forever home. And it's funny you said that, because me and my husband was talking about that we actually looking for our forever home right now. So I don't know, that terminology just kind of turned to shift in my head, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, and maybe that's why I ain't got what I want yet, because I'm not singing the language that God needs me to hear as far as what it is that I need to be looking for. So I need to go back and, rewrite that vision so maybe it aligns up with what God wants me to really use it for. And I guess I say it because I'm a little bit older than you all. I'm not trying to be jumping from house to house. I'm looking for that ranch where we ain't doing all the stairs and stuff. I'm seeing the vision of my grandchildren. I only have one, but I did put children some more. And but now I can say a little in my own defense, we always got an excuse. I see land, I see things, for it to be used in other ways. So when I say forever, I see it building, I see it growing, I see the expansion that can happen there. But I sometimes, like I tell people, word has powers, and God say, okay, so you're saying this, but what is it that you really, these words really want? So I need to rethink that language, Akima. So that was some wisdom. Even for me, it was like, okay, what I'm saying, I need the investment to last. I mean, for my lifetime and my generation and my next generation lifetime. So what does that look like versus just the comfort for right now? So yeah, that was some wisdom that you really dropped on me. And always, Brooke, I love how you take us through the journey of your story, but to help people see that strategy, of it doesn't necessarily start with you getting your license as a real estate agent. Because right now it's a lot of people saying, oh, I want to get into real estate. I want to get into real estate, but I can't get my license. I can't get this. I can't get this. You know, we got these barriers and blocks. Sometimes we just need to find, like you said, go to the people you know who in the exact same situation you are, and need to make a change. Start it there. Our start point does not have to be our end point. That's right. What people have to understand. It started with investment homes. Then you went to the real estate and, you know, the different avenues that you offer people. So I just want people to understand there is no limits except the limits that we put on God. That's right. And those are the things that we really have to be cautious of. So if you all were listening to these beautiful women and all of the advice they have, but I need to put up this banner because I don't want you all to not forget what the main reason is here. Of course, we want you all to be aware of what the real estate market has to offer, but I want you to, oops, I still got it wrong. Thought I edited. Y'all work with me. Call myself doing it right before we got on screen. Hold on. Right, there we go. Gotta add sale in there, y'all.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. SickASaleGeorgia.org. When you go there, I need you to click on donate, and I made sure I spelled Charmitra Stroger correctly because you're going to be donating it for the cause that she opened up. So make sure you go in and donate this weekend because this is something that's near and dear to my own personal heart because I have the trait. So what happens is a lot of times we don't have the conversation with our mates. We have left that out. You need to figure out the trait. So what you're bringing for your children and all those different things, you need to get your test done. So making sure those things happen. And I'm saying that, but I'm not having no kids. Y'all know I'm way past that. But other people who are on that journey. What you say, Charmitra? We can't hear you.
You're muted.
You done turned your volume down. We can't hear you.
Put it in the chat.
No, we still can't hear you. You done turned your volume down or something. No.
No, we can't hear you.
And I know you're saying something good.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was with passion that your lips were.
And she knows it. When she broke it down to me, I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you must be under the little shelter now and it's blocking your signal, baby.
She's saying it's not muted. It could probably be her reception, maybe where she is.
Yeah, where you are now, the line is muting your reception out because we can't hear you. But when you get out of that little line, jump back in to tell us what it is you're trying to say because I know it's good. So keep it in your mind now. Don't lose it.
Well, Courtney, like you were saying, everyone is affected. Everybody's affected. My husband's niece, our sister's daughter, her first child, or her first daughter, has been suffering for years. She's 23 now. She still has her crisis where she's hospitalized for days. My stepdad, when he was 32, he passed away. He had sickle cell his entire life, and it was some complications to that. And so, we all, especially within the African American community, we are definitely, if we don't have someone in our immediate family, we have someone, a friend that we know, or, a cousin's friend or someone that we know. So bringing this awareness, like you said, sometimes it just goes over our head. Oh, we don't know anyone with sickle cell, and this, you don't do it on purpose. But this, I think, is great awareness that we need to shed some light on, so that so that these resources can be put in place to help families. And I would love for Charmitra too to talk about what she wants to do during Christmas time, because she was giving us, Akeem and I, so many situations and stories on how the foundation helps so many people. With Charmitra, are you on? Can you hear? Can you talk? Talk. Let me see, because I want you to share a story.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So, Charmitra,
I was gone for a minute, but I was trying to. it may go back out again. I don't know.
Okay.
But go ahead,
Because
tell us,
I'm
tell
moving.
us.
What were you saying? Can she?
Charmitra.
Hello?
She went out again. I think because she's actually driving.
Driving.
Yeah.
It could be the connection.
Yeah.
But yeah, she has shared with me, the foundation with during Christmas time, they just bless family Christmas gifts, or when a family has to be in a hospital with their child during the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? It's just the foundation does so much, and it touched my heart where I'm like, I have to be involved. Like, of course, I'm gonna be involved for this. This is amazing. But yeah, so the next big event is gonna be during that Christmas season, where blessing a family with rent, blessing them with a Christmas gifts for their children. So like I said, things that you start, it catapults you to the next level, Courtney. It enlarges your territory. It's gonna and I can see the vision. And once you have passion for something, and then you go for that, no matter the resources. Because even for this event, we're like, well, some resources were lacking, but we're like, look, we're going forward, we're going to do it anyway, and then we'll know what we need for the next event, and so on and so forth. And that's how you have to take everything in life. Do it. I'm gonna say no to no opportunity. You want me to do what? Okay, yes, ma'am. Because look how many people I'm gonna meet doing that. And then it's just going to help me grow and get better. I'm going to take nuggets and I'm going to learn from people that's going to help me in my developmental growth. So I never look at it as, I should be this far in life, or no, I'm right where God needs me to be at this particular moment, because I'm elevating, and I'm okay to be a lifelong student because I'm learning every day.
Absolutely.
I'm learning every single day. So I think my girl is out. I think her connection went out.
Yeah, she's gone. But I agree with you. Enlarging your territory is exactly what it is. Because I know me and her was talking one day, and I was like, well, I remember when, my friend was taking off work. Sometimes you don't get paid after a while. After you used all your vacation days, you got to still pay rent. And you might be in the hospital with your daughter. I remember she had a real bad episode, and she was in there for like 3 weeks. Wow. On most jobs, vacation is 3 to 4 weeks for the whole year. So, paying rent, I told her I want to pay some single moms or whoever, rent, family rent, during that time, whatever we need to do, I want to do.
Yeah. I think that is wonderful, because a lot of people don't even realize some jobs you don't get vacation or leave at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you've worked for a corporate or a government entity, you got used to vacation and time off, but there's some places you get none of that.
Correct.
If you don't show up, you don't get a check. You pay for each hour that you are present, and that is all that you get. So we have to understand as a society that we really have to just step in and make a difference in people's lives. So paying rent, especially right now when we're talking about in COVID season, there are a lot of people struggling with rent anyway. But then you add on health crisis is on top of that, where you were already behind before the season even got here, So there are a lot of people who need this, who are in health crisis, especially we're going to talk about just the sickle cell health crisis, by helping their child or by their own individual, like you said, your father-in-law. You're talking about these young teenagers and young kids that the parents have to be at the hospital with them. There is a lack of understanding and knowledge that we have in society about what's going on around all of these things. So I want people to share this with people who are not a part of sickle cell, because there's a lot of people suffering and they haven't even tapped into the things that the foundation provide. So they need to get into these resources, because you're missing out on the help and the support about being in this silent shame place. A lot of us suffer in silence. We do not put it out there that we are going through these crises, because nobody tells us that there's a help and resource. So if you have a friend, if you know a friend who's not even using the resources of the Sickle Cell Foundation, send them this message so that they can become a recipient of some of these resources as well, because I don't want people to be out there sick.
I'm back, ladies.
Excellent.
Can y'all
excellent.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Loud and clear.
I'm
Yes,
back.
that's all right. Tell
uh,
us what you were so excited about.
I forgot what it was. I know you told me not to forget, but I was hearing bits and pieces of the conversation. But I was young when I had my daughter. I was 19, and I didn't know what sickle cell was because it just wasn't never prevalent. I never was exposed to it, to my knowledge. Even though I have it in my family, I have more than one cousin that has had it. I had a 22-year-old cousin like 2 years ago died from it here in Atlanta. But I was 19 when I had my daughter, and I didn't find out that she had sickle cell till she was like 10 months. And I never forget, she had a really bad fever, and her feet had swollen up real, real bad. And that's one of, I think they call it the foot syndrome or something they call it when they're babies, and their feet and their hands swells really bad. So that's how, and she went to the hospital and they was like, she has sickle cell. And I was like, no. But here in Georgia, they test all babies now for it. And I found out about it, maybe like a week or two. It was so crazy. Maybe like a week or two after she, ended up having that episode that she had it. And I went to the Sickle Cell Foundation and they brought me and her dad in, and they basically told us that she had sickle cell and they wanted to test us. They tested us and we both had to trade, and we had to go through like an education seminar basically. But ever since then, whenever they, do things for sickle cell, I'm always there. But with me being so young, the Sickle Cell Foundation helped me. I remember it was times when I was working and I had to be out for work. My daughter used to be sick a lot. She used to be in the hospital out of a month, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out of the month. Um, and when you out on your own, you working, they had to help me, with food and with doing Christmas times and stuff like that. So the Sickle Cell Foundation is always there to help families that are in need or whatever. So that's the reason why this cause is so dear to me, because a lot of people need help, and they're shameful about receiving help. But there's tons of parents that I've seen in the hospital that had to leave, their newborns or they 2 and 3 year olds, and they're there all day long at the children's hospital with just the nurses and the doctors coming in checking on them periodically throughout the day because the parents have to work. So it's so dear to me because I was a parent that I just chose my child over that, and luckily her dad did help, was able to help out. But sometimes it did get hard, and when it did, they were there occasionally. So just know that there are tons of resources, but just also know that sickle cell is also there. They hold plenty of educational seminars throughout the year. Now that it's COVID, I don't know how it's working right now, but you can always call, always read up and just educate. I've always taught my daughter to educate herself about her disease whenever she's in the hospital. I've always taught her to ask the doctors, what are you doing? What's the medication for this and the other? I'm really big on education because just because you have sickle cell doesn't mean that your child needs to be treated like the next child. Everybody's episodes, everybody's bodies are totally different. What may work for them may not work for you. And I only know that because her doctor at that time always told me that. And he always said, you make sure that you always be an advocate for your child, this, that, and the other. So when I go into the office and I go into the hospital, even now today, my daughter is 23 years old. I go and I ask questions, and I'm very detailed. And a doctor can never tell me that I don't know, because I don't know. You that don't sit well with me. So I just tell people all the time, make sure that you're educated and research and ask questions. And if they don't answer your questions, just make sure you make sure they find out the answers to those questions or whatnot. And all the time it's not always good just to be medicated all the time.
Mhm.
There are other things that you can do, and other. It's just a lot. I just People just really need to be very educated about the sickle cell. It affects
I
a
love that.
large portion of it affects a large portion of our community, and
Yes,
people don't understand that a lot of people die
yeah.
from it. Like I say, my 22-year-old cousin died 2 years ago from sickle cell. People are still dying from it, and it's just not spoken about as much as some of the other, diseases and stuff that's out here in the world. So it's very dear to me, and I've always said if I ever had a chance that I always want to give back to them, because it affects my daughter, it affects people in my family, people around me, and I know how hard it is financially, just mentally. Um, it takes a toll on the kids, it takes a toll on the family, it takes a toll on, the parents' jobs, because parents need to be at work, but when they're missing from work, the job goes without wherever they're working at because they're missing an employee. It affects the whole, community. So yeah, so that's my biggest thing about being about it. I'm very passionate about it.
Well, I thank you all you ladies from jumping on, because for one thing, if people are not aware that everybody around them is going through something, and unfortunately, a lot of times in the community, it's within our own families, and we don't have the discussions that we should have in order to educate ourselves on the things that we need to be doing to prevent other things from happening in our lives. This is a time that we need to sit down and have some discussions about our health and how our health is a part of our legacy that we're passing on to the next generation as well. How our wealth is a legacy we passing on to our next generation will. Our lack of or our abundance of it, whichever one it is that knowledge and education that we pass on. So we all need to get educated so we can pass education on, because that's the only thing that nobody can take away from you is what you have in your mind and the things that you have acquired. And when you do that, you can keep doing the building all over again. If you lose everything, you can build it all over again if you did it the right way the first time. So just realize education is the foundation of building anything. And Charmitra, I do believe that this is a great platform, not just because we are putting in our money and our finances in something, but because we're creating an awareness that can shift a whole community, and as we shift the community, hopefully it pass on, and we want to create a movement that everybody is involved in it, not just Sickle Cell Georgia. So I'm looking forward to, joining and partnering and promoting the Christmas event that we're going to do with Sickle Cell. We're going to do it in a larger, grander way. We're going to get together way before the weekend of the event and do us a whole month-long push and advertisement and campaign.
Yeah.
And Brooke, that's very important what you said, as far as don't say no to the opportunity just because you can't do it as big as you want to or as grand as you want to. Take advantage of the opportunity and do the opportunity the way it is. You might not have all the resources, but God will give you the provision for what you need to do right then and right there. And then it will grow. So like now, this season right here, we can call it back to school. We can call it, retail therapy. But the thing is, we just want to get the word out and begin for us to partner with Sickle Cell on the regular basis so that we are providing resources. And now that we're providing awareness, every family that has somebody, go to this foundation so you can get the support, so you can get this help. Yes, they can't pay all your bills. They can't do everything, but accept the help that you need. And they might be able to tell you different avenues to seek help in other ways. So the whole point here is not to suffer in silence, but to get the skills and the resources of all the women who are here. So I am definitely glad to have met you all and include you all in my circle now. Akima, Charmitra, Brooke, I've met you all in different ways. And Akima, I met you here for the first time on this virtual live. But from the moment we got on here, I was able just to freely talk with you. So it gives people and gives us that space where we can do that. So I think that is wonderful. I want to remind people that the link is at the bottom, whether you're watching this in the live or the replay. I don't even care if you're watching this months or years later. I still want you to click on sicklecellgeorgia.org, click donate, and put it under Charmitra Stroger so that we know that you understood the value and the awareness that was provided today. It does not stop if you don't make your donation in by Sunday. So I want to tell you there is no time limit on helping people. So putting this out there, this might not be your pay weekend. You know, this might not be the day you get your check. You might say, hey, I don't have extra money until the first of the month, whatever it is. On that month, set a certain amount aside and say, I am going to donate to help somebody else. And that is actually how you get blessed. Whatever you are willing to do for somebody else, God will put people in your life to do it for you. So I promise you, while you're being stingy and while you're being selfish, that is your blocking of why you can't get what it is that you need. It will always happen. As soon as you do something for somebody else, God will bless you. During this season, I can tell you, I've given to people, I've planted seeds, I've helped people start businesses, and it has been amazing the return that God has done for me and my life. It has been amazing. So it is something that I can walk and say and talk that is the reality of life, how God explodes a little bitty seed. Y'all know it take a little seed to start a tree. And then from that tree, it gets real good roots. So you just have to stand and keep giving. And a tree gives fruit. So it's going to have to keep giving something in order to keep growing. So keep blossoming, keep growing, keep giving the fruit that God has given you. I am blessed by the fruit that has showed up to the day. They are giving in their niches. You all definitely tell them where they can connect with you all. Charmitra, we'll start with you. Let them know where they can find you so they can connect with you if they're looking for a realtor or if they're just looking to be educated in the market.
If I got her contact information. No, go ahead. I can hear you. I'm sorry. Well, no, go ahead and talk. I didn't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm currently with eXp Brokerage. You can reach me at 404-916-6703. Again, 404-916-6703. My email address is Lux, Luxe, level, Level, realty, Realty @gmail.com. Those are my 2 ways of reaching out to me. Thank you guys so much for having me on here. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Kima. Thank you, Court. I love you all so much.
We love you.
Love you too.
Love you. All right. Akima, let me know how we can reach you and stay connected.
Sure, yeah. So you can reach me. I'm on all social medias. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. My Facebook is Kima, Kima, Bigbee, Bigbee, or my Instagram is realtor_Akima. If you want to email me, it's Akima at ABA. Oh, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. ABA. /realestate.com. And I appreciate you, Court, for having me on. I thank you so much. Great message that you did. Brooke and Charmitra, I love you guys as well.
Hi, guys. Brooke Dunbar. You can reach me. BrookeDunbarRealestate.com is the website. Phone number is 404-668-4161. Because I also have, I'm a realtor, and I'm also, I do investment. It's RegalLegacyGroup.com. So Regal Legacy Group is GRP.com. Regal Legacy Group, GRP.com. Same phone number. I'm all on social media. Brooke Dunbar, the realtor, on Instagram. Brooke Dunbar MBA on Facebook. And I'm also on LinkedIn. Brooke Dunbar, LinkedIn as well. So
and
again,
what I'm gonna do for all my viewers and listeners, I'm gonna collect that and then I'm gonna just add it into the details. So that way, if they're looking at it on Facebook, they're looking at it on the website or the YouTube, all they have to do is scroll down and do a correct click link to get to you, so they don't have to be writing fast while they're listening to it. So if each of you
and
would
do mine too, Courtney. I'm sorry.
Say again.
I was saying do mine too. I'm sorry, do mine too. I totally forgot. It's Charmitra, the realtor on Instagram, and Charmitra, the realtor on Facebook. Okay.
You're going to send it to me.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
I'm not that good now. I'm just I ain't that good. But just either text it to me or messenger to me, however you have my connection information, and I'll make sure I group it all together, because I want to make sure, because people are jumping in at different times. So, some people just caught the contact information. I want to make sure it's in there, even if they don't watch the whole hour. If they just want to say, "Oh, let me reach out to this lady because she said something I wanted to hear in the video." When you said something, they was like, "Oh, that's what I've been looking for." And that's how people do. They don't listen to none of the rest of the video. Don't even realize the contact information was in there. So we'll put it and write it down below to make sure everybody can find each of you all. So I am so excited about the event tomorrow.
Yes.
So I will get to see you all in person.
Yes, that's perfect. And just to let you know, a DJ will be there. They will have complimentary champagne and white wine while we shop. And again, 10% of the proceeds will be going to the Sickle Cell Foundation, GA.org Foundation. So thank you again, ladies. This has been amazing. And see you guys tomorrow because we're going to have retail and real estate turn up.
All right. See you all ladies tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.